So my mom was just in town, not too long ago. And I was hoarding the usual wines for my mom.
I know. I wanted her to try all of them.
Yeah, but now I'm just waiting for my next shipment.
We went through it too fast.
The convenience of like me knowing I had a heaping pour of wine in my fridge.
Bunch of quote unquote single servings. The awesome thing about it is that each bottle is 6.3 ounces. It's a heavy pour.
Yeah, which I'm already so accustomed to heavy pouring because you have really taught me the ways.
I'm a huge fan of the heavy pour.
I'm a huge heavy pourer.
Pourer.
Usual wines are made from world-class American viticultural area, AVAs, in California like Napa, Sonoma, and Santa Barbara, and are made with minimal intervention, 0 sugar, and 0 additives.
The wines are low carb and have 0 grams of sugar.
We highly recommend it, not only for, honestly, the convenience and the taste, but honestly for the aesthetic.
They're the cutest bottles.
Yeah, when people have come over, like my mom was here, and I could give it to her, I felt even more classy. I did. Give it a try.
Go check out their website at www.usualwines.com and use our discount code REPS for $8 off your first order and try your first glass on us.
Yeah. All right, we're on it.
We're rolling.
We're on it.
Considered rolling. I just age myself.
Rolling.
And we're rolling.
And we're
As if
rolling.
it's on a film roll.
So much information.
I know. Are we? Oh, we are going. Okay.
Yeah, we're in it.
Hey guys, welcome to Between the Reps with Brooke and Jeanna.
Welcome,
friends.
Oh, wow.
I had my ringer on because of Rue.
Don't answer that.
I'm not.
Never answer a phone number that you don't know.
Now it's doing it in my computer. Okay. No. Okay. Sorry, guys. Ruby had a little episode this morning. She was on her way to work and she, I talked about it before. We found out she was allergic to walnuts.
Yeah.
In another podcast. And so she had gone to Starbucks and got a pumpkin bread and took a bite and saw that she thought they were nuts. Ends up, they don't have walnuts in the pumpkin bread, but it could have touched something else in the case.
Yeah.
So her throat was tingling and feeling funny. And so she went to urgent care and they gave her a Benadryl shot. And so then she's okay. But she had to come home and I had to...
Now I'm just trying to visualize.
I had to watch her. So now I had to watch her for 4 hours. So now I'm just making sure that, she was fine when I left, but...
Definitely
changes.
in like a lot of banana bread.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking, that there could have been something in the case that somebody had touched.
Yeah.
And then gave her the pumpkin bread. I don't know. I'm just glad she's okay.
Gave her the pumpkin bread.
gave her a
case of the pumpkin bread.
Oh man, I got the old pumpkin bread.
Oh,
I'm going to start smelling my thighs. The old pumpkin bread.
Got the case of the old pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread.
Pumpkin. Okay. So guys, we were going to talk about the Enneagram personality test. And we both took it.
Jeanna's sister, Michaela, has been trying to get us to take this for so long.
Forever. So Michaela, this is for you.
And not only that, like a week ago. A week ago. Maybe, yeah, a week ago. Hey guys, a week ago? A week ago, Natalie Talbert, a friend of ours, she was on our podcast. She was with her father-in-law, and they were asking me if I knew my Enneagram. And I said, I was like, oh man, no, me and Jeanna we were supposed to do that. We just haven't done it yet. And so
last year.
And they were talking about how all the things about it and developmental stuff and, just information that can help you, obviously. And I asked them, I was like, hey, send me the link and we'll do it. So I said, I'll do it tonight. She sends me the link and I open it and it's like 175 questions. This could take anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes. I was like, not doing it tonight.
Not right now.
So I texted Jeanna and I was like, hey, you're home with Ruby. Do it right now. And I'll do it right now in my house before you get here. So we did.
So we could talk about it. I was going to read what it is in case people don't know what it is. This is an interactive personality test that uses the Enneagram model of personality. Sorry, that was with a period of personality, period. The Enneagram is a model of personality in which there are 9 personality types related to each other according to the geometry of the Enneagram figure. Well, it says pictured right, but you can't see it. So,
should I read all the types?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1 second. I have it on my phone. It's very small. Type 1, which is actually what Jeanna's daughter and sister.
They swore I was a type 1.
She was a 1.
Oh, to the point that we were somewhere and I corrected someone. I think I corrected Kylie the way she said something, and they both looked at each other and went, a 1. I was like, geez, is that like a bad thing? They swore I was a 1.
1, strict perfectionist. 1s are about improvement and right action, ensuring things are done correctly. They are principled, with a clear sense of right and wrong, and may seem idealistic, self-righteous, or judgmental. We know some of those. They organize their world and value facts, precision, and clarity, working hard to avoid mistakes. Their gifts is in discernment, evaluation, and knowing what is right. 1s. 2s. Considerate helper. I'm pretty sure that Natalie was a 2. 2s want to meet others.
I thought she was a 7 because I think she's posted it before.
Yeah, okay. 2s want to meet others' needs in a helpful, supportive way. Warm, giving, and people-oriented. They seek affirmation from their relationships and may be sensitive and angry if they feel unappreciated. They may over-involve themselves in others' lives and risk being manipulative. Their development challenge is to give unconditionally and to nurture themselves as well as others. 3, competitive achiever. 3s are doers and tend to be practical, task-oriented, and project a polished persona or image. They are competitive and will make sacrifices to achieve their goals and appear successful. They risk being overstretched or workaholic and may resort to deception or expediency to win. At higher integration, they work towards self-acceptance and authentic influence, connecting hearts and hands. So many words. 4, intense creative. 4s search for meaning, depth, and authenticity. They are emotionally sensitive and attuned to their environment, creative and expressive as individuals. They may seem emotionally moody, dramatic, focusing on what is lacking in their lives. As they integrate, 4s get in touch with their inner creative voice, but able to separate their identity and their emotions. 5, we're almost to Jeanna's. 5, quiet specialist. 5s are private individuals with an active mental life, observing and exploring how the world works. They struggle to share thoughts and feelings and may seem socially awkward or disinterested. At lower integration, 5s may be withdrawn, antagonistic, and aggressively defend their isolation. At higher integration, they are intellectual pioneers, bringing their perceptive wisdom unselfconsciously. You want to read yours? Do it. Can you read?
So I ended up being a 6, Michaela and Kylie.
Yep.
And I was calling...
She tells me, I go, Jeanna, what were you? She goes, I'm a 6, the loyal septic. Loyal. I was like a septic tank? And she's like, yeah. And then I read it for myself, and it's a loyal skeptic.
The loyal skeptic. 6 is easily tuned into potential danger and risks, acting on a sense of anxiety and think in skeptical ways. They value trust, responsibility, and loyalty and need to feel they are safe and belong. At lower integration, they may be paranoid, reactive, and insecure as loyalty turns into dependency and oversensitivity. At higher integration, self-reliant and grounded 6s give confidence to those around them, resiliently coping with risk. I mean,
that's you.
Sounds about right.
Read 7.
Okay. 7, the enthusiastic visionary. 7s seek variety, stimulation, and fun, tackling challenges with optimism and engaging with life in a future-oriented in a future-oriented way. As team members, they bring creativity, energy, and optimism. They may seem distracted, hedonistic, insensitive, or irresponsible to others. 7s are often unhappy but deny this, escaping into hyperactivity and impulsive pleasure-seeking. At higher integration, they are present, finding joy within. And then what are you, B?
I'm an 8.
You know what's funny is I
What?
looked this up and it's the rarest.
An 8?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah. It was just on the thing when I was looking at it and it said the rarest of the Enneagrams and it said it's an 8. You are a rare gem, my friend.
You might not think that when I read the description. The 8. The active controller. 8s are forces of nature with a strong presence and personality that values being in control. They are guarded but caring and protective of those around them. As they mask any vulnerability with a tough, no-nonsense exterior, they may seem intimidating and confrontational. At higher integration, they combine their directness with compassion, collaborating with others while serving the greater good.
That's you.
That's me.
That's
The
a cool.
8.
It's actually a cool one. At least you're not the Skeptic.
Well, and
At least it's like I got the shit number out of all of them.
okay, so on the 8, this is what's so funny is like I was reading because we took the test and the link, maybe we can actually put the link in this if you're watching it on YouTube. You buy it. So apparently there's multiple Enneagram tests out there, maybe not multiple, but there's a few. And Natalie sent this one because she said that this is the one that she's found has maybe been the most, she said comprehensive. She said it was like comprehensive. And I bought the Pro Pack. So it gives you like this, you get like a full, like just pages of things that you can, about like working with people, team working, relationships, how you communicate, dealing with stress, argue, like just all of this stuff. You can kind of see what your natural or it's your subconscious like reaction or
how people,
your pattern,
other people could perceive you.
Yeah,
right.
Your pattern is, and then it gives you activities or things like homework to maybe help you integrate your wings, which is like the 2 numbers that are closest to you, basically.
On either side.
But I was reading this to Jeanna and I was like, oh my God. Because it's talks about being very direct and almost aggressive. And even though you aren't wanting to come across that way, like you don't realize that that's how you sound. That's exactly how you sound to other people. And I told her, I was like, over the last few years, I've had a lot of real downs and some ups, but some downs. And I've like really done a lot of, I'm very self-aware. And so I told her as I read it and I was like, no, I know that, but that's exactly why now when I'm doing it, I can tell that I'm doing it. And I'll literally tell the person I'm talking to being like,
I'm not yelling at you.
I'm not yelling at you. I know that I'm being very direct and this seems really intense.
I'm just very passionate.
I'm sorry.
I'm just very passionate.
I'm sorry.
There was one more, a 9.
The 9.
The adaptive peacemaker. 9s are diplomatic and attuned to the ideas of others, often as facilitators or mediators in groups. They form the glue between people with their friendly grounding and stable demeanor. They struggle to connect to their own point of view or say no, and often avoid all conflict at high integration. They are independent and self-respecting, acting with self-awareness and autonomy. So those are the 9. So yeah, I was a 6 and Brooke was an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to?
Yeah, I'll read yours first or me.
You go ahead.
Okay,
I don't want to read this whole thing. What part are you reading?
Just right where it says, it's like your detailed Enneagram description. Just gives you some of this stuff. Yeah. Okay. 8, the active controller. Brooke, you resonate with the Enneagram type 8, which is also known as the active controller. Thank you. Gives you some words. Assertive. Confident and direct. You are comfortable saying what you need to say and getting on with things. Decisive. You trust your gut and are quick to respond, willing to make decisions to move things forward. Protective. You are big-hearted and protect the people and things you care about. You fight against injustice. Independent. Autonomy is important to you. You are self-sufficient and dislike being dependent on others. Influential. You have your own way of taking charge and influencing others, including the bigger organization. the bigger. I don't know.
The bigger organization.
I don't know what organization it is, but it's big. Not sure if I've influenced it yet. But
Maybe they're talking about Instagram.
oh, man. I don't know if I am on that. Motivation. This style stems from the motivational need to be strong and avoid vulnerability. As an Ennea 8, you value having a sense of control, and as a result, being direct and impactful is important to you. You love challenges and embody a need for justice, which enables you to protect others. At your best, others experience you as empowering and encouraging. You offer the gift of innocence to yourself and the world around you when you align with the flow of reality. At your worst, others may experience you as domineering, aggressive, and unstoppable. This stems from your strategy to express yourself as larger than life in a threatening world. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Typical action patterns. There's so much stuff.
I know. I would like to say though, this is the detailed Enneagram description. It says your main Enneagram style is not the product of your behavior, thoughts, or feelings. It is determined by the subconscious pattern of motivation that drives your personality. Mm-hmm. So it's not saying that everything on here is like what you do or what you say. It's basically saying that they do these questions and they're taking it from what you subconsciously think.
Yeah.
That's driving your personality.
Depending on your level of self-awareness, it may be easy or difficult for you to connect to this motivation, which often remains largely subconscious until you start exploring it and paying attention to the reasons why you think, act, and feel in a certain way. So it's saying like some people might have a harder time being able to, maybe move like flow, like how it said, like I'm doing, a positive is like if I'm flowing with reality. Mm-hmm. Right. So some people, if you don't have a ton of self-awareness, you haven't been practicing that, it'll be harder for you to be able to comprehend when things like when you're starting to have like get into a pattern that maybe you don't want to be in that situation, or maybe you're talking to somebody and you're not super aware of the way you're communicating
or coming across.
It's not going to come across great to other people.
Okay, so the loyal skeptic. This style stems from the motivational need to be safe. Apparently, I'm very scared. As an Ennea 6, you are likely to value security and belonging. As a result, loyalty and trust are important to you. You strive to be responsible and appreciate being prepared and alert at all times. I don't know how alert I am. Always ready.
You're pretty alert.
Pretty alert. Okay. Take it. At your best, others will experience you as courageous and connected to a sense of inner knowing. You offer the gift of devotion to yourself and the world around you. At your worst, others may experience you as anxious, suspicious, and doubting. This stems from a tendency to worry excessively and fear letting down your defenses. Does that sound like me? Maybe I took it wrong.
I know, a little bit.
I think a lot of the questions were kind of confusing to me. I always went with the first one that I thought of.
Well, and it says to kind of do like to go with your gut.
Most of what I got out of this is that I care about loyalty, honesty, those sort of things. Yeah. And I'm scared of everything.
I mean, you are.
I am. And I'm very skeptical.
To be honest,
it makes sense.
You were reading that and like a thought that came to my mind was like, that explains that. Like anytime I'm going out of town and I'm like, come with me. And you're like, I know, but I just can't because like Ruby's in town. I'm like, she's 19.
I know.
But I just don't know.
I always think that something's going to go wrong. Oh, man.
But the questions on the quiz, there's different types of questions they ask, and it kind of tells you too at the top, like when answering these, you kind of want to think about kind of past, present, future type stuff. And then there's certain questions where it says just thinking about right now, like just how you felt within the last 3 months.
Yeah.
So, and it explains too, like depending on a lot of things, like it will be different or it will change. And also I think the more you do self-development and you get older and you change, certain things will change too.
So hopefully I'll get less scared.
If not, I'm here to push you.
I know, Brooke's like, you would skydive or all these things. No. Do you want to go surfing? No. Oh, it says my core fear is being alone in a threatening world, being unable to survive. We've always said that in the zombie apocalypse or, I don't know, getting deserted on a desert island, I would probably be the first one to go.
Yeah, but that's because you're the one.
I don't have any survival skills. I don't really think I have I don't have like a gut for survival.
No,
like flight or fight, I would always probably flight.
You would.
I would run.
We've literally had this conversation, you guys, about how, and I came to terms with it. That if we were in like a fight or flight situation, and I would protect Jeanna.
You would.
And she was like, I would want to, and I would maybe try, but I probably would run away if she had to protect me. I'm like, at least you're honest.
I would love the idea of it.
Like, I really would want to, but
I really want to, but I just think that my fear would overtake me.
This episode is sponsored by ButcherBox. Aside from working, because me and you, we work all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Total workaholics. Work.
We just work.
That's just all we do.
And that's pretty much it. No, but for real, aside from, I guess, our day-to-day, whatever that looks like for us, currently sitting on the couch, we really enjoy getting our friends together. And almost every time, everyone expects, we all do, there's going to be food involved.
Well, yeah. Who would hang out if there's no food?
Yeah. It's usually, some sort of barbecue with some games and some drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we use ButcherBox. We do it so often that it is so convenient to have really high quality meat delivered right to your door. We don't have to, there might be moments of rushing to the store for last minute things, but
for our meat.
Meat is like, that's the most important part. That's the center of our dinner.
Center of our universe.
Yeah.
Every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high quality meat right to our home. All meat is free of antibiotics and added hormones. Each box has 9 to 11 pounds of meat, which is a good amount of meat, enough for 24 individual meals. And with as often as we get together during the week, we definitely go through all of those.
Yeah. Fast. Yeah, it's packed fresh, shipped frozen, vacuum sealed, so it stays that way. And it really does. That's why we keep going back. That's why we keep ordering.
It's a no-brainer.
Right now, ButcherBox is offering new members ground beef for life.
That's a lot of beef. So
Where's the beef? Where's the beef? That's 2 pounds of ground beef in every box for the life of their subscription. Just go to butcherbox.com/reps.
That's ButcherBox. We're going to do it together.
Yeah, ready?
That's butcherbox.com/reps. I feel like lately I have exhausted most of the people around me with talking.
Definitely me.
Talking about all the things that are stressing me out or the anxiety that I have. So honestly, the best thing that has happened to me lately is BetterHelp.
Yeah, because I was the one who did it first. And then you finally were like, okay.
You were like, can you please stop talking to me about all this and, just go to BetterHelp?
Yeah. Well, for me, and when we talked about it, when we started diving deep into our personalities,
Right.
I tend to have the same sort of stresses or things that make me anxious. And so I have a hard time. You never want to exhaust the people that are closest to you. I feel like that. Like, I never want to exhaust you by always coming back, periodically with the same sort of stress that I know I've already talked to you about. So BetterHelp has been very helpful. I know that sounds funny, but very helpful with just having someone there that you don't have to worry about them being exhausted of it because it's their job.
It's their job.
Yes. BetterHelp has licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem. And they're there to help. Super convenient and affordable. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/reps. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's betterhelp, HELP.com/reps.
What's your typical thinking patterns? I think you scrolled down a little bit too far. I'll read a couple more.
Oh, okay.
Here's one. This is one that makes me feel bad about myself. And I don't think it's like completely true, but it might be a little bit true. You tend to quickly mentally assess people as either strong or weak and then treat them accordingly. This may lead to an all or nothing way of paying attention to others.
I could see it a little bit.
Yeah. You want to know the truth and we'll
you? Yeah. Weak. I'm going to treat you weak. Weak ass.
I could definitely see it like in certain situations.
I could see you thinking it, but you would never be mean to or like treat them shitty.
And I wouldn't think like weak or strong. How I would probably think it is like I'm not going to be mean to you, but I'm not trying to be your friend.
I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like anyways.
Yeah.
You want to know the truth and will directly confront people to uncover it if necessary. You dislike being out of the loop and prefer that people inform you of progress, give you updates and let you know what is going on so that you can focus on driving things forward. You prefer big picture strategy over too many details. 100%.
I was going to say absolutely.
Yeah.
That is you.
Your mind moves towards your own goals and needs more so than those of other people. You do not respond well to being forced, bribed, or charmed into doing something you do not want to do or that seems unimportant. So don't force me, bribe me, or charm me. I mean, let's see how big the bribe is, though, you know?
Right, yeah. How much we talking?
All right, let's see your typical
typical thinking patterns. Your thinking style easily sees both sides of an issue, rarely taking information at face value. This yes, but thought pattern helps you foresee risks, but may also lead you to challenge others often. While you want to trust authority figures, you are also aware of the possibility that you may be let down or disappointed by them. You tend to be attuned to your environment, scanning for possible problems. Constantly scanning for problems. I see a potential problem. You then apply yourself to these challenges in a pragmatic and analytical manner. Your internal dialogue is likely to contain lots of questions. You tend to ask questions both about what is visible and what is unexpressed and hidden. This enables you to solve and prevent problems, but you may be skeptical of solutions that seem too easy or simple. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, there's a ton of information here.
Oh, you put the worldview. Is that what you read?
No, typical thinking pattern.
Not just barely, but when you were saying down here, is the top purple?
Oh, yeah, the worldview. Yeah, the world is threatening the worldview is the world is a threatening and unsafe place for me.
Mine is the world is a tough and unjust place in which only the strong survive. Dude, good things happen to those who take control.
What's your focus of attention?
You focus on ensuring that nobody can control you. You pay attention to solutions and results and strive to expand your influence.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at mine.
What does yours say?
You focus on what can go wrong and construct worst case scenarios.
Worst case scenario, girl.
I know. Except mine actually happened. Maybe that's it. There's self-fulfilled prophecies. You're probably focusing on it
too much.
You are constantly on the lookout for threats and pay attention to the hidden intentions and dynamics in relationships. That's true. That's really true. Oh, wow. Okay. No, it was my core fear is being alone in a threatening world, being unable to survive. What's your core fear?
My core fear. The 8's core fear. Obviously, we already said this.
Yes.
A lot of this may not be.
I'm the 6 and she is the 8.
It's not like we took a quiz you take this quiz online and it's like, holy shit, they know you better than you know you.
Right.
Core fear of an 8. Helplessness or vulnerability. Total weakness. Being controlled by others.
That sounds right. I was going to say. That sounds right.
Definitely helplessness is a huge fear.
Yeah.
Like not being able to just do something to help the situation, like to, start fixing it, it may not fix it, but if you legitimately out of your control is like the worst thing ever for me.
Not for me, apparently.
What's your self-talk?
Okay, I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, because mine, I
must not be afraid.
Have you ever said
I must protect myself. I must be careful about who I trust. I must be cautious. I must be loyal. See, I think that I used to be too trusting.
You were?
I'm not as much anymore.
No, because I helped you.
I know you did. I appreciate that.
My self-talk. I must be in control. I must be strong. That's it.
Yeah.
I've never once said those things. I've never once said those things to myself.
I must be strong. Well, strength comes in there. It's in different ways, right? It doesn't just mean physical strength.
I mean, I could tell you what I told myself the other day. I was doing photo shoots. And the first part of the day we were filming, me and Heidi doing a bunch of like interview stuff. And it's just, for me, I get it. When I'm doing, we'll just put it like for like video stuff. So if I'm doing like videos and I'm talking and I'm interviewing, I give so much of like a real energy and authentic response. And I'm really thinking about what we're talking about, that after a lot of that, I'm exhausted. Like I'm just like mentally done. And what was so crazy is because we finished and she was just doing more YouTube stuff after I left. I was like, how are you? What?
Yeah.
I'm like, where do you get this energy from? But I had to go back to, and then right after this, there's some stressors in my life, like trying to know where I'm going to live soon, and some and some business stuff. And I was going back. We went to the Airbnb, and I'm going pee, and I'm sitting on the toilet, and I literally said to myself, because I was just dead and just had a lot of things going on in my head. And I was sitting there, and I go, "All right, you can do this. You can do it. Get up."
Wipe and get up. Wipe your ass and get up.
And you're going to this photo shoot and you're gonna smile.
You're gonna crush it.
You're gonna smile. Ooh, what's your vices?
Well, it's gonna come as no surprise. Doubt in the form of constantly focusing on worst case scenarios in everyday life or in people.
That's not you. 100%.
A little bit.
But like not totally.
No, I don't. I think that I must have like really answered a lot of questions that I'm a very scared person.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not as scared as I think. I don't know.
My vices.
Maybe it's just what's in the back of my mind.
That's what it is. Subconscious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what that is.
My vice, an unstoppable, insatiable lust for control, leads to excess and makes it difficult to connect with others.
Yeah, I don't think. No. Maybe that's just what could happen.
Okay, I'm like,
it's not what's happening.
I don't really have an insatiable lust for control. If anything, especially when I'm like really busy, I kind of just want to give it all away and run away.
I think maybe it just means like in control of your situation, your life.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's the way I thought. Anyway, there's
so much stuff.
Yeah.
If you take this quiz, it gives you developmental exercise. It gives you a lot of, like for your number, it says Enya 8 has the following strengths and positive qualities, following weaknesses and challenges, and then gives you subtypes and instincts, and gives you, it just gives you information about how you might be interpreted or how you might act during like conversations in social situations with work, which I think I am going to sit and actually maybe print this out and really read it.
Well, this is what's kind of cool is for mine, it says, it has the following weaknesses and challenges. So your tendency to worry and expect the worst may lead you to procrastination and a lack of decisiveness and action that stems from uncertainty about the best way forward. This can lead to a kind of analysis paralysis in which you replace action with thinking. So it's basically giving you things that can happen if you're this certain kind of personality, and then gives you, well, I think yours like gives you, why can't I think of the word? solutions.
Mm-hmm. Things you can try.
Sorry, I'm like reading. Keep forgetting that
this part,
talking.
I know. They're like, God, keep talking.
we're so
we're
really
so
interested in you guys just reading.
Well, I will tell you this on mine. It gives you your level of integration of Enneagram, and I'm moderate. Does yours give you that?
What's that?
Down by self-awareness and integration. The level of self-awareness, mastery, and integration indicates the extent to which you have been able to consciously free yourself from the ego fixation of your type. It also measures how aware you are of your blind spots. Integration is a subtle and powerful journey of personal awareness development in life. This is a temporal measure and will fluctuate and change as you invest in your personal growth, but also as your circumstances become more or less challenging. At a lower level of self-mastery, a lot of behavior is driven by core fears or reactiveness that relates to your main Enneatype. So basically, the more you're able to, like it's saying, you are becoming self-aware and integrating, you'll have more control over what those like patterns are, like things that might not be the most, they might not be your favorite or people around you's favorite.
Well, I mean, you definitely start reading some of the things and you go, that's not me. That's not me. But then I was reading this one, I'm thinking, this is me. When things go wrong, a tendency to justify and blame may lead to others experiencing you as defensive. In counterphobic behavior patterns, this may also come across as overt aggressiveness despite your desire to avoid aggression. I'm super defensive.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Me too.
Just kidding. But no, it's true. So it's interesting to read something that you don't necessarily want to hear about yourself.
Yep.
It's a little hard. I mean, my kids would definitely tell you that I'm defensive. Right here.
Your weaknesses and challenges.
Uh-huh.
I want to read one of mine. Weaknesses and challenges. Which one did you read? The top one?
I just read the...
You just picked one?
I just read the last one.
Your confidence and direct approach may lead. Oh, okay. Here we go.
I think they're all different.
I'll just read one of mine.
Okay.
This is a weakness and challenge. There's a very fine line between defending yourself and being aggressive. As an Ennea 8, you will often seem aggressive and blunt to others, even when you don't, this is what I was saying, even when you don't experience it yourself. When taking people on about things, your approach may leave people feeling bullied or humiliated. And that's true.
That is true.
Fuck. And it's exactly what it says. Like, even if even when you don't experience it yourself, like that's how it's coming across.
You don't think you're doing it.
You're not doing it to make them feel humiliated or or bullied.
No.
And I do that.
You do that.
I do, huh?
Like you do.
Oh man, I do it. I do that.
Not a lot.
No, probably less now that like I've been aware of that. Like, I've been more aware of that the last few years, probably more than a few years. But so when it starts to happen, a couple things. One, I can recognize it and either, pull myself back or try and, fix it. Like, say something else that like softens the situation. Or two, I can recognize it, and after the interaction, I can then apologize. I apologize a lot.
Not that much.
But I apologize.
No, you apologize when you're wrong.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to sound like I'm apologizing all the time.
I
apologize a lot because I do this a lot.
I apologize when I know that I was wrong.
You do.
Because I have serious guilt. I have a lot of guilt.
I'm not a great apologizer.
I don't feel like you ever really need to.
Nah, that's not true. I don't think that, you and I get along pretty well, so there's not ever really any reason for that. But I almost feel like sometimes when I apologize, I feel like I'm admitting that I'm wrong.
No,
and sometimes
true.
I don't like to admit that I'm wrong.
Yep.
So I try to find a reason that I'm not wrong.
I know a few people like that.
I know.
aside from you.
I know. So I'm trying to get better, especially I'm thinking specifically with my children.
Yeah.
Or my sisters, people that I've been raised around or have raised, or in a situation where I feel like I'm in charge of them. It's very hard when I feel like I'm in a role that I'm in charge of someone else to apologize for something.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's because I think that I'm in charge, so I get to say whatever I want. I don't know. I'm working on that.
Okay. And then what's funny is like, you have to remind me to not give in.
True.
In certain conversations.
You
with people.
apologize too easily.
Yeah.
You apologize in situations that you don't need to apologize for.
I do.
And I tell you that when you apologize, it makes it seem as if you are the one that did something wrong.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying, you can say, I'm sorry we didn't see eye to eye on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
instead of instantly going, I'm sorry. Because
it's like
makes it look like you did something wrong.
I do it sometimes not even in a way that's saying those words. That's what you try and tell me.
Right.
Like if I'm going to have a conversation and you're like, you want me to stand behind how I feel because that's, because that's what I need to do.
Right.
And you'll remind me to be like, don't say like these things because you're going to make it as if it's, there's no reason for the things, like it's no reason for you to be upset or mad or don't say this because don't apologize for that. And I'll go into like conversations like, okay, remember what Jeanna said.
Well, see, I think I need to learn to do more apologies from you and you need to do less apologizing.
Okay.
So we'll flip flop that a little bit. Well, also I think sometimes because you don't want the conflict.
That's exactly what it is.
It is. You'll go in and say,
I don't want conflict that's hard.
That's hard, right?
Because I want people to be logical.
Or
just like be logical. So
right.
if there's a little bit of a problem, like let's think about it logically and then whatever, and then move on. But the second someone wants to be defensive with me and like if I'm saying this happened and they just keep defending, this never happens with you. By the way.
I know.
And like, instead, it's
You're
okay.
thinking
Like,
of my defensiveness.
you hurt my feelings when you did this. And then
right.
the person's like, I never did that. It's like, well, yes, you did. And it's like, well, now if I have to start to try and, if I have to
try to validate
like,
your feelings,
like sell myself, like convince you,
right?
I have no interest in doing that. So
right.
either I just like walk away, or at some point, the person already wants it to be.
I'm sorry.
Already wants it to be my fault, right? Because it's not their fault, and then I'll just be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna say. I just don't like to like fight for myself like that for some reason.
Well, because you realize, you have to consider the
circumstance. It could be too because you read all these other things about like my type, where I'm already a very direct and can sometimes leave people feeling humiliated. But like maybe that too is like in a situation I just don't want to put the energy towards a conversation with someone who isn't understanding or willing to see what I'm seeing.
Your point of view.
Yeah.
Well, I think that goes for any relationship, honestly.
Yeah. You guys, so not that long ago, this is so funny.
It's hard to get comfortable.
I want to make my mom and dad take this, and there's no way my dad would do it. I'd have to sit there and ask him the questions. There's way too many questions. He'd be like, no.
There's so many.
So, I don't remember what it was about, but there's a lot of shit happening in my life. And I was at your house. I pulled up. My dad called. So I get on the phone. And he's just saying stuff like, sometimes my dad will communicate in a way that it's like, I know he's just like me, actually. I know that he's trying to care or like, show that he cares, but sometimes his delivery, it's almost like he doesn't have time. How do I explain this?
His delivery is not light.
Yeah, his delivery is real shitty. And this is so funny because we're having this conversation and just some of the stuff he was saying and how he was saying it, I was crying and I was pissed. And I basically was like, Dad, I didn't say it like this. I'm sure it was way more loud and mean. I was like, Dad, if you keep saying this shit, I'm not coming home. because I was supposed to be going home.
He's like, what?
And it was this big, huge ordeal.
Aww.
And it was because I wanted him to just care. Like, let me just explain to you like how I'm feeling. And I know, like, without just trying to analyze it so much or tell, whatever, just like care that, like, just let me know that my emotions and like this like stress and like debilitating sometimes emotional state that you can be in, depending on how rough your life is, it's happening. So it's like I wanted him to like be more careful with my feelings, just in this instance. And my mom told me later, because like we get off the phone, we ended it fairly well, because after he knew the extreme that I was going, I like didn't care. Then he actually pulled himself back a little bit, and we had a real conversation.
It's like, I want my baby to come home.
My mom was telling me, she goes, so that he got off the phone with me, and she said that she looked at him and goes, "What was that like, talking to yourself?" And she goes,
"You are your father's daughter."
She goes, "Her out of all the kids, is the most like you." But like, here's the thing: is my parents are both tough. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
They're just strong personalities.
They're strong personalities, strong-headed.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if my mom was an 8.
I think she probably is.
My dad, I actually don't think.
I don't
think he'd be an 8, but he is he's a leader, but he's stoic.
Mm-hmm.
He's
just
someone
more quiet.
He's the person like just thinking. He really doesn't want to talk.
Yeah. He's observing.
He's observing.
He's an observer.
Oh yeah.
I wonder which one that would be.
When is too early to have a glass of wine?
I think it's situational.
Oh yeah.
That's my answer.
Okay.
Like vacation, I feel like,
yeah.
10,
First thing.
10 a.m.
Yeah. And honestly, there's so many different kinds that you can make it work.
Right. Yeah.
For any time.
Just different wines for different times.
Different wines for different times at Usual Wine.
At Usual Wine.
But seriously, that is true. I mean, the spritzers that we got with the real guava juice in them.
So good, you guys.
That is a morning wine.
That is a morning wine.
That's an AM wine.
Run out and get that morning guava.
Yes.
Spritzer.
With Usual Wines, you're guaranteed quality and a heavy pour.
Who doesn't love that?
I mean, they're single serving, but
we usually have more than one.
We always do.
They don't only have the spritzer we were talking about. They have a red blend, a rosé, and a sparkling white wine called Brut.
They also have a limited production of Brut Rosé just for the summer, which is so sad because it's really coming to a close.
So go out and get that rosé.
Get that rosé while they still have it. Go check out their website at www.usualwines.com. and use our discount code REPS for $8 off your first order. And try your first, second, or third glass on us.
Skål.
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 What are you going to do with all this information? Have you read enough stuff on the 6 that you think I'm a 6 that you would just keep it, or do you want to retake it?
Do I get to not keep it? Nope, that's not me.
Try again.
I think that it's very accurate, maybe not in how I am perceived, but probably how I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that it is accurate in that way, but I would probably take it again and just really pay attention to the questions, because I was like rushing through it.
Yeah. And
then see how it came out again. Not to necessarily change my answers, because it says to kind of go with like the first thing. I love that the last question says, did you answer these questions? And one's all very true, moderately not.
Yeah, it's like very true, moderately true.
Not true, moderately not true, or not true.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to answer? I only answered these, moderately true.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you're being honest about it. And there's that, honesty thing with me. But yeah, I don't know what else I would be. I mean, I've been stuck thinking that I'm this strict perfectionist, because that's what Kylie and Michaela have told me that I am.
Yeah. I don't think you are.
I think that I'm different with them. I think I was saying this before. I don't know if I said it on this, but I think it's different when you are a mother. So I've been Michaela's older sister, and I was in charge of my sisters forever. Why do you have that look on your face?
Because I think I'm learning something about myself.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit terrifying.
Oh God. But no, I think it's because I've been a mother, kind of mothering both of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably a very different person to them than I am.
Which also
around
too
other
is like
people.
The way that you would communicate with them.
Right.
And that would be based off of experience.
Right.
It's like how I'm going to communicate with like one of my sisters to the other one.
Right. Like I don't normally correct other people all the time. Do I? Am I a big corrector of people?
You correct me.
I do.
But Lord knows I need it.
Like when
I can't spell.
I do.
When I can't spell.
I do.
You guys, I spell poorly.
She's a terrible speller.
I'm not great at spelling. I never did well in the spelling bee.
I know you told this story.
I spell things the way they're the way they're sounded.
Well, apparently I can't read because Skeptic was septic. I just gave it a silent C.
No, so there's a part on here where it says it's the centers of expression. The centers of expression is at the core of how individuals predominantly show up in the world. Some people project and connect to their emotions, whereas others are more connected to their thoughts and others their bodies. So we have the action center of expression, thinking center of expression, and your feeling center. Okay. My action center is high. It measures them low, medium, high. High. Action energy is hot. It impatiently drives action and results and is mostly experienced as gut instinct and bodily presence. It corresponds with the area of your brain known as the brainstem, which plays an important role in conducting sensory information and the basic bodily functions that keep you alive. Unhealthy expression of this center is unfocused and manic. Healthy expression of this center is grounded and alive. High. So it's like, it kind of tells you like what areas you use the most, I guess, for expression.
So this says I'm hot too.
You hot?
It says I'm hot. Look at it. It says action energy is hot.
Yep.
Huh. Got the same energy.
Da, da, da. Oh wait, that's just describing it.
Oh.
But do you have this picture?
Oh, I have that picture.
You're medium.
Oh, I thought it was hot.
Yours is feeling center.
Oh, feeling center of expression. Yeah. Feeling energy is warm. It relates to a range of emotions that we express, coupled with our experience and reaction to the world we inhabit. It corresponds with the area of your brain known as the limbic system, which plays an important role in emotions and motivation. Unhealthy expression of this center is reactive. Healthy expression of this center is receptive and authentic. Okay.
So on the action center of expression, it tells me, because mine
what
was
I have
high,
here.
it says, but if you go up to it, underneath it tells you, as your action center is highly expressed, others are likely to experience you as responding to challenges immediately and engaging directly with the world. That's true.
That is definitely true.
If something's happening, I cannot like save it for later. If it's a question or a comment or someone like messaged me and says, hey, I need to talk to you. Are you free next Wednesday? I'm like, how about we talk right now?
Yeah, I don't want to sit and stew over it.
No. Following your gut response when making decisions or confronted by an issue. Yep. Being highly attuned to immediately turning decisions into practical implementation. Focusing on your external environment. At your worst, others may experience you as struggling to respond appropriately in situations where a more emotional or rational response is required. Tending to act on impulse without planning ahead or thinking things through. Not paying attention to the impact of decisions on others or the future risks involved in a course of action. Impatient, hyperactive, and hasty. I can be impatient, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My lowest one is the thinking center of expression.
You don't think that much.
I have low. That's why I was worried. Thinking energy is cool. It relates to logic, analysis, and rational processing of information, as well as criticism and mental chatter. It corresponds with the area of your brain known as the prefrontal cortex, which is sometimes referred to as the executive function of the brain because of its capacity for prioritization, judgment, goal setting, and analysis. Unhealthy expression of this center is like the busy monkey mind. Healthy expression of the center is quiet and spacious.
You dummy.
Let's see. As
Not super cerebral over here.
As your thinking center is low in its expression, others are likely to experience you as less connected to the details and information that forms part of the daily flow of life. Not consistently able to support decisions and conclusions with facts. I never have facts. I just have feelings. Less planned, objective, and clear than you may intend. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But it's been working for me so far.
It's working for me too.
You know what I do? I pay Devin to think, man. Oh yeah. That's why me and Devin work so well together. There are things like, for instance, it talks about if I'm low integrated with being an 8, right? I'm put in a situation where I might react based off of like just being direct, and it's like I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm no nonsense. And then I just don't care anymore. Because if I didn't get it the first, second, or third time when I was actually trying to be, nice and explain things to you, and you still are being an asshole, now I'm just going to let you know you're an asshole. You can't talk to so-and-so like that. And this is not how I work, right? And Devin, because I'll get to where I'm so pissed. And it's like she's upset too. Like when we had all the shit at the CrossFit Games that one year, I was so mad and I was over it. It's like, this isn't worth my time. And working with you is definitely not worth anything that you pay me. And so Devin is so much better at like taking, because those are all valid reasons, like valid feelings and real stuff. But she's able to like take that and have a very level-headed.
She's a better delivery.
Her delivery
she has a great delivery.
Is way better in stressful situations. But I will also say this. We are currently in a situation with a past sponsor it is a nightmare. And because she is a lot more of like that calm, could be perceived as a pushover. Mm-hmm. Okay. This specific person, really needs, basically after so much back and forth, we're now to the point where I told her I will call him.
Yeah.
And that's the way it has to happen. And which upsets her because you're going to listen to this, Devin. It's upsetting because she wants to, it could be the same with you, or like she
wants to be able to fix it.
She wants to be able to also have that, like the asshole.
Oh yeah. I would love to be an asshole, but
which is the same thing where it's like, I would love to know how to construct my own,
your thoughts
responses
in a different way.
And I've gotten a lot better at it. I have a really hard time expressing how I'm feeling. So I just don't.
You've gotten a lot better.
Yeah. Cause I've forced myself to try with certain people that I feel safe doing so. Jeanna. Yeah. Sometimes you feel something. I guarantee so many of you can relate to this. And these feelings can be exacerbated like if you're on your period. It's like that time of the month and you're bleeding a lot and you're hormonal, and then you even have a harder time explaining why you're mad. It's like
I said to you the other day, we were at the gym and Brooke was kind of having a not rough day, but she was just kind of in a mood. I said, "Are you going to start your period?" And she goes, "No, I mean, I don't know, like a week or so." I
was supposed to start it. It was like a Monday.
Yeah.
I was supposed to start it on Friday, but I started it on Tuesday.
I know. And I was like, that was it. I told you. I knew it.
It can be hard to express yourself.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, are we done talking about this?
Yeah, we should be done.
I know. People are probably tired of listening to us talk about like what we are.
Well, actually, it's probably very interesting for them.
I mean, I find it interesting, but it'd be really cool if other people did it. And yeah, you can share it with us.
Yeah. If you are a listener and you yourself have been like, I've been wanting them to do this because you're really into Enneagrams and you've been wanting to know what we were. I would love for you to email in to betweenthereps@gmail.com. I say that because I forget that sometimes new listeners don't know our email. We're like, hey, email us. And people are out there. I saw comments like, what's the email?
We're so professional, guys.
Yeah.
Really got our shit together.
betweenthereps@gmail.com. I would love to know, maybe if you are one of those people, what number did you think we were?
Oh, yeah.
Before we told you what we were.
Yeah.
And maybe if you haven't taken the test and you're going to take it, I would actually love to hear maybe a little bit of insight from some of you of maybe like Jeanna, like people thought you were going to be this number and you actually weren't. And you're this number instead.
My
interesting.
sister and daughter are still saying, no, she's a 1. She just lied.
Are you texting them?
No.
Oh.
No, I was just looking up. I just thought this, I was going to end with this.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
We had somebody write in. I just wanted to address it. Before we finish up, I'm not going to say the person's whole name, but it was labeled Big Don't. Did you see this one?
No.
This email.
No.
And it was from, I'll just say the first name, Dusty. I truly love you ladies and I can't wait for the next weeks to be released, but please do us all a huge favor and keep politics out of it. I quit listening to the one from 2 weeks ago because of this one. One of the big reasons I listen to you lovers is to get away from the everyday bullshit that you see and hear everywhere. And I am not a news watcher, definitely still a loyal listener. Well, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I don't really feel like we were talking politics.
Honestly, what were we talking about 2 weeks ago?
She doesn't remember. We were telling people to vote.
Oh,
yeah. So no, we're not talking about politics. And we've already said before, it's not for us to tell you who to vote for or any of that. But we do think that voting is important, Dusty. So that was really our point. So I just wanted to make that clear if there were any other listeners that felt that we were getting political.
yeah.
Because you're right, there's a lot out there.
Dude,
it's
so
very
much.
hard to cipher through. And there's so much fake news and all sorts of bullshit. So no, but we do think it's important to vote.
We are not political.
We're not smart enough.
Clearly, I just read to
politics.
you my Enneagram and I'm very low on the thinking scale.
She has somebody else to do that for her.
No, but real talk, politics, that's just a stressful topic in general.
Yeah.
It's like when I go home and we don't talk politics at my house because it just turns into a nightmare. Well, a whole bunch of family of 8s. Just
exactly. Well, and then don't they say the things that you're not supposed to discuss are religion and politics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on that note, we're not, and moving forward, we're not going to like, if there's something that we feel like we should just say or address a little bit of it,
because it's important.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah.
But we do really try to deliver some of those topics with grace, and we don't ever want to start something and be very matter of fact about stuff like that. But if we weren't to bring up anything at all, especially if it is something that is important
and relevant
then a lot of people would be pretty upset about that. So we will keep working to try and find a really good happy medium. But for the most part, guys, we are not politicians. No. And I'm terrible at spelling, and Jeanna can't read.
And Jeanna's scared to death that the world is ending. So yeah. But and it's not because we're ambivalent. It's not because we don't have an opinion, because we do, and we're not scared to share that. The point is that that's not for this forum. And so we've said that before. It's not really, I think people have their own ideas of things. And I think that if we can just, remind people that it's important to vote, I think that that's our responsibility, and that's kind of ends it there. Not to cram our opinions down your throat.
No. And especially just so you have an idea of like the way I think. When it comes to...
Are you thinking?
And when I do. The few times I do. But like when it comes to like social media or like our podcasts or things like that, unless it's like a really important like event that's happening right now and we need to talk about it in some way or form, I am not going to just give my personal opinion on matters that are very complicated,
or that we may not have all the information on.
If
I'm a huge advocate for not speaking on something you don't know anything about.
This is what I think. This is what I think. If I don't say it, is something terrible going to happen? If I do say, because sometimes, people will post things, they'll have their opinions about something, and it almost does more harm than good. And for me, I think but for why?
Right.
Because you didn't save anyone's lives by giving that opinion.
There's a certain amount of aggression.
Yeah. All you did was kind of hurt people.
Right. Give an aggressive, shameful opinion.
And so for me, it's if there's a need, a real need for me to say what I'm going to say, because I truly, truly believe that it is going to help so many people and people need to hear it. And if I don't do it, then I'm doing a disservice.
Right.
That's the only time I'm going to say it, unless I'm being interviewed. And that's the question. And I have to address it because I'm honest.
Right.
But other than that, we're never just going to, we don't want to start conflict. No. We'll be, but we do. We think it's important to vote. I used to not. 100%. I didn't. Mostly because
there's a lot of people that haven't.
Growing up. I mean, also though, when I was younger, I was never of age. And then you start to get of age, and I never really paid attention. I never had this feeling of where I really thought that it mattered, because I definitely had the sense of, oh, well, I mean, I'm not going to do it. I can't get there.
What does my vote matter?
But there's so many other people who will do it. They'll vote. They'll vote, and I'll be fine.
They're all voting for me.
So
yes.
Anyways,
I just wanted to address that, but I do appreciate you writing in and telling your opinion, and so I appreciate that and appreciate you listening.
Yeah, guys. So thanks for listening.
And remember to
guys.
Rate, review, subscribe, 5-star rating, 5-star warning.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.